So what's going on in the coin market? What's trending? What are they selling for at auction? Well, stay tuned because we're going to go over that. First, here's my website, portsmouthcoinshop.com, and I have a large amount of proof sets, silver proof sets from the 90s that I purchased. I have the Premier and I have the regular. I have good deals going on those. I also have the 2021 silver proof set. I have the new one. Now, I think you can still buy this on the Mint website cheaper than this. I'm not sure what it costs you to buy one plus shipping, but we do have them for $126, which is comparable to what they're selling for on eBay. Also have the 2021 Silver Eagles and a bunch of other coins on here. So if you get a chance, portsmouthcoinshop.com. So let's take a look here. First off, I'm going to use Heritage. And we're going to start, what I did was I went to U.S. coins, all U.S. coins, and I wanted to go to U.S. coins. And I want to show you a couple things about Heritage. Now, I'm not ignoring Great Collection, Stacks and Bowers, Legends, Dave Lawrence auctions, or eBay auctions, or coin shop sales, or coin show sales. All those come into play on what things are worth. But Heritage has a really good setup. More coins seem to go through Heritage than most other auction sites. The rarest coins tend to go through here. And I mean, I love Stacks and Bowers too, don't get me wrong. And speaking of Stacks and Bowers, the 20 Redfields are there, and they're going to put them up in the June auction. It's going to be Coin Help You auction. It's basically going to be a hoard under my name, or not say a hoard, but a some type of auction. I'm not sure how they'll word it, but they're actually going to use my channel's name in the auction. So it's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyways, getting back to Heritage, over here on the side, you can pick any coin category you want. Okay, and you can come down and you can do, buy it now, from owner, the featured, live auctions. I mean, it's so many different options. You can choose the grade. If you want to know what something sold for in a grade and what year, grading service, you've got mint marks, you have the coin finish, like whether it's a proof or not. And then there's something else that I want to show you. If you can see this here, for some reason the video would not pick up the drop down as I wanted to show it, so I'm showing it like this. And here at the right hand side you have other options, and you can literally go to the highest, lowest, obviously the oldest sales, the most recent sales, and you can actually compare what something sold for in the past to what it's selling for now. So that's kind of convenient, interesting. Some people don't know that, but I do like how Heritage has it set up so that you can do that. So let's get on to looking at the market and what's going on in the market based off of Heritage auctions only. One other thing that I would like everyone to know is that if you go to a coin show, don't think for a minute that whenever a dealer is going to buy something, especially dealer to dealer, that they don't look up what it sold for on Heritage. It's one of the first places that dealers go to. A lot of dealers go to. I'm not saying all of them. It's not just a gray sheet. They come over here and see what something's actually sold for lately, because sometimes the gray sheet can be off. We have to really be on our toes with values. People don't really understand that because values can change, and sometimes gray sheet's off, sometimes PCGS is off, something's not selling for what PCGS has it listed at. I mean, right now the market's a little hot, so you're pretty golden going by the price guides because you can get that price out of them. Things are pretty retail right now, or at least even above retail. So as we look at Heritage here, you notice that I have U.S. coins selected. I don't really have a category selected here, so it's showing me whatever sold lately. So what we want to do, we want to go over to the colonials, is what I selected here. And I like the colonials. They're really cool. I love these oak trees and the pine trees, the Massachusetts. I like the state colonials. I think they're some of the coolest coins out there. But you get an idea. Some of you metal detect, some of you might find some of these coppers. And just remember, if your coins are details, grades, or whatever, but you can find these. But that does hurt the value of them. And some of these are graded. You can just get an idea of what some of these colonials are selling for. Maybe you find something you're interested in. Here's a Kentucky. That's kind of cool. I really do like these. But so we can see here, we can actually go up to the drop down and we can compare what they sold for in the past and kind of get an idea. But this will give you an idea what they've sold for. So moving on to, and I selected this time the half cents, and you can see what the half cent sold for. Here's $17.95. These are really nice designs too. I like these as well. This is, so I'm thinking some of these were some of the first coins minted in 1793, 94, like the half cents were. And you have different varieties here, so you have to make sure it has the pole and the no pole, and you can see that in some of these. You can see the pole coming out of her neck down there, so you know, and it's up by the Liberty cap as well. And you get the one above the one, so it's always nice to be able to know how to do the search here on Heritage so that you can find out what something's sold for. And this is what they sold for lately. Here's a classic head, $2,520. This is something that people need to pay close attention to whenever they're looking at these values. This is a variety, okay? This is a particular variety and actual grade that made this coin worth this much. So you have to know what the C3 is and B4 is, and the R1, that's the rating, that it's in a CAC sticker. So this coin is very special because it has all that attached to it, which is, it's Cohen 3. Like I said, it's always good to click on it, open it up, and get an idea of exactly why this coin's worth $2,520. Same thing with anything else. Here's environmental damage, 1811. You see 1811s, they're not extremely rare, but there are a better half cent. And you can see it sold for $300. And it was 2021. That's another thing. Make sure you're looking at the latest auction so that you know what something sold for lately. Very important to know that. Because some of these, if you get on here and you don't select most recent, like I showed you here, you can be looking at 2007, 8, 12, and it's just not valid for now. The prices have changed. Some of them have gone up, some of them have gone down. It just depends. Most of your modern stuff has gone down. I'll tell you that right now. But some of them's kind of creeping back up. But then some of the type coins, they've gone up. Here's some other ones that are really nice. So here's the large cents. You get an idea of what they're selling for. Genuine. Most of these copper coins are going to have a genuine. They're going to be either artificially colored, or they're going to be, damaged somehow. Planchets were poor. Sometimes they're going to be corroded. You're going to see that a lot. It's very difficult to find a problem-free example, and when you do, be willing to pay for it. That's what I can tell you about large cents, copper coins in general, half cents, large cents, small cents. You find problem-free examples, you should be willing to pay a little bit more for them because they're very difficult, especially the large cents and the half cents. I mean, every time I go to a show, I see a good deal, I think, I pick it up and realize it's a problem coin. Even though it's in a holder, it's a details grade coin. I mean, I tried to find a 1793 for someone and finally did, but man, it was hard to get one because they wanted the readable date and they wanted a problem-free coin, and it wasn't easy to find one even at some of the shows I go to. And here's some classic head large cents, 1813 very good 8, sold for $234. And you also have what they call kind of the matron head, or the coronet, 1836 very fine 30, sold for $99. So it kind of gives you an idea. You come over here to Heritage and scroll through, and do some research and learn what things sold for, and learn what values are for various things like details grades. If you want to know what clean coins sell for in a holder, right here it is. This will give you an idea. Maybe one day in the future, I know I've got all these plans and ideas, maybe I can come up with a clean coin values book or something like that. It has detail values. But don't have a lot of comps for detail coins. That's the problem. So you would be going with maybe some prices that are going to vary widely. So that's why no one's done that before, because it's very difficult to put together a price like that, because sometimes people want to hold you to it. If I tell everybody that this coin right here, let's say for instance, is genuine AU details, and I say, okay, an AU detail sells for $156. Then one comes along and it looks ugly and it sells for $99. People are like, well, I thought you said it was worth $156. And that's what you run into when you start with these values. So we'll move on to the small cents, and we have the Flying Eagles here. First, in 1858, extra fine sells for $216. Indian cents as well. This is a cleaning and details. Like I said, a lot of copper coins have problems, but this one here, $204. Sometimes you can find some gems, some diamonds in the roughs in some of these Whitman folders. But you can scroll down through and you can take a look at different values, get an idea. The 1867 and 65 red, $3,360. That's really cool. This one here actually has a double die too. It's a 67, so that's a good one to look for as well. So you have real nice coins here. You can see whether they're red, brown, or brown, and you see the differences in values. And here's a nice one of my faves, 1877, 63 red and brown. Okay, so it's RB at $8,040. And you can actually look back and see how much that thing sold for in the past. It's probably went up in value, I would say. 1900 red. This coin looks a little weird, looks a little off. It sold for $504, and the dealers, or at least the person that bought it's trying to sell it for $756. So moving on to the 2 cents and 3 cents. Here's an 1864 small motto, now $396. And you have the large motto for 204, so you can see the differences in values. This one here's a 63 brown. I had one recently. I think I had a 65 on the site that sold. It's pretty cool. They're really nice whenever they have the full shield. And one of the things to look for on these is the we. When you're grading these, it's very important to look at "In God We Trust." This we is often struck weak or worn first, being a high point. If you find one with the full we on it, those you usually command a premium. And here's the 3 cent silvers. 1851 sold for $396. Those are really cool coins. It's one of my favorite coins too. Of course, I got a lot of favorite coins. I just like coins. But I love these when they're uncirculated. They're really nice. This one sold for $408. And it was a short series that didn't last very long, but they actually are kind of rare. A lot of these were lost. I know someone who found at least an AU example in an old typeset that he bought the album without coins. And these are so small that it had got between the cardboard pieces. And when he was going through it, it came out a little bit, and he pulled it out and realized that, he found an AU coin in an album that's supposed to be empty. Because these 3 cents are like fish scales, is what they called them. It's one of their nicknames. Trimes, because they're 3 cent pieces. And you also have the 3 cent nickel as well. See if I can find any of those. Here they are. This one here, Mint State 65, sold for $690. That's not one of my favorite designs, but it's not a bad coin. I mean, when they are uncirculated, you don't see them very often. This one's an 1880, very fine 35, sold for $240. So then moving on to the 5 cent shield. And these are nice coins too. This one here is AU58. It has the rays on the reverse, $300. You have the 1883, which I see a lot more of the 1883s than you'd think. And they're $95 in AU58. Really not rare. But I do see, and I've noticed, I've sold a lot of 1883s. There is the cents and no cents varieties. But I have noticed that looks like the prices have gone up a little bit on these as far as that's concerned. And these were sales from 2021, which is what we're sticking to right now. You want to see a little bit earlier, feel free to, use the drop down and go back a little bit further. Here's the nice one, 1901 MS66. That's a really nice looking coin. I think we might take a little closer look at that. Liberty nickels don't get a lot of respect except for the 1913 and then the key dates. A lot of people don't really like these coins. Barber, he's the one that designed these. And here's the reverse. They're not really that inspiring, but I think uncirculated and in the proofs, I think they're really nice looking coins. So we'll move on to the dimes here. This is actually the half dimes. I like these as well. I just like type coins in general. Wouldn't mind having a type set and a full Morgan set. That would be really cool to do. But I get nice coins, and I like selling them to people because I know they're going to be happy about them. That's what I like to do. But to the half dimes, they're going to have some value to them. Then we have the actual 10 cents, the dimes. There's the cat bust. And then you have seated. And 1837 seated, sold for $630. I do sell a few cat busts. Most of your cat busts in the lower grades, you can get $100 and some out of them. But you can buy the AGs for probably in the $50 range, $60 range right now. Here's one. Well, it's very fine damage. But you can actually look and see over here, find the grade that you're looking for. Not much in the way of, wouldn't be Mercury dimes or about dimes unless it's key dates on this. There's some key date Barber dimes. Here's a Barber 1909S, but it's AU50. It sold for $312. So, like I said, here's the, like I said, 65 full band lines. I have one, 200. It sold for $288 on this one here. I think mine's 66. So we might be able to see what that's. I don't see a 66 here, but I do see the 65s. So I've got a few of these are going to be up on the site coming up today. I'm going to do my best to get them up for the weekend. Then we go to quarters, and here's your cat bust quarter or your Drake bust quarters. Here's a 20-cent piece. I like those as well. They were a very short-lived series as well. The 75S is your most common. You see that the most. But an AU58, $492. It's not a slouch. And here's some more seeded. And let's see if we got, so you can see what they've sold for, $120, and just different grades, dates and mints and things like that. And let's see if we can find some Barbers. Here's a Barber 1894 mint state 61. That's a beautiful coin. I sold the one I had, 1898, that had the collar and the die clash up on the side. I think I sold it for $190. A little over PCGS because it had the die clash, plus it had the collar mostly. And someone bought that out. It was AU55, I think it was, or 53. It's really nice. It was a nice coin, actually a choice coin for the grade. And here's the standing quarters as well. Fine 12, $288. So then we move on to the half dollars, and here's the Drake Bust half dollars. You know, those are going to be worth money. I mean, those kind of go up in value just a little bit. They kind of stay the same for the most part, but some of them will go up. And like I said, a lot of these have varieties. You want to make sure you're paying attention to the varieties when you're looking at these. Then here's your Cat Bust. Those always have the value. A lot of people are not that interested in these until you get to the Barber halves and the walking halves. And those will be the key dates you'll see up here. There's a lot of seeded here. And now we're starting out with a clean coin. It's actually Unk Details, a 1908D. And it's $480. So I give you an idea what a cleaned example would go for. Looks like a pretty nice coin though. And here's a 19080, an extra fine 45, selling for $228. So it kind of gives you an idea of what some of these Barber halves can sell for. When you find one in AG, which is most of them, it's not a whole lot of money. Here's a G4, but since it's a 1914, it's a better year. It sells for a little more money, $120. And then you have, obviously, your walking halves, which is one of my favorite designs as well. You can see what they're selling for. Here's some of them. They're not key dates, but if you have a 6534, I mean, $480, that's pretty good find if you can go through and find, you know, uncirculated examples and send them off for grading, you know, make a little bit of money on them, kind of cherry pick. There's still that opportunity out there in the walking half dollars. A lot of people don't know how to grade those because, you know, down the middle is where the wear and the weak strikes are and the contact marks. They're hard to see. You have to really turn that coin to grade these coins to get that high grade that you need to get. Most of your coins are going to come back 64, which is okay if they have a mint mark or they're in the 30s. You probably still come ahead on it, but you want to be careful. And we're at the dollars at the moment, and here we have a 1795 flowing hair with a hole in it. So it sold for $2,640. So it gives you an idea. There's a lot of fakes. I had fakes come in the door the other day. Someone wanted to know how much they're worth. They thought they had a landslide. They thought they won the lottery, and I had to kind of break the news to them. They actually had Drake Bust 1800, and I had to bring out mine to show them that they were fake. And here's some seeded dollars, and another favorite of mine. And as you notice, most of these are favorites of mine. It's just the way it is. I can't help it. But anyways, $360. I sell these. I buy these often, a lot more than what I thought I would in the coin shop here. And your trade dollars. And of course, we can get on down here to the Morgan dollars and the Peace dollars. We all know the Morgan and Peace dollars are up in value. That goes without saying. But, you know, you get a chance to take a look at the trade dollars and see what they're selling for. Haven't had one of those lately. It's really hard to buy some of this stuff. I mean, it's really difficult. Wow, look at this one. Hey, here we go. Let's take a look at this dimple here. I can't help but to show you guys a Morgan dollar. It's 7/8 and it's strong. And what they mean by strong is you can see it. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, you can see it. The extra tail feather there. It's really not extra. It's just where they, you know, re-engrave the die to make the tail feathers more accurate. You know, mess with the dies a lot back in the day. Then, here we go. Mint errors. And something I want to share about the mint errors is I found one that's up for auction right now, and we're going to take a look at it first. It's a 2005 Lincoln Cent partial plating, mint state 65 red brown. I think it'd be a good idea to watch this auction to see what it sells for. Because right now, even at $56 or even at the 75, you're right at what it costs to have this thing graded at PCGS. So we'll see if something like that's going to sell. And maybe this stuff's so hot now that it's selling for more and it's worth sending off for grading. Because typically I would tell someone a partial plating wouldn't even be worth it. I have some partial plated coins, so modern ones. I think mine are in the 80s or 90s. So, or yeah, I think it is. I think mine are in the 80s or 90s. So we'll see what that sells for, and we'll see if it's going to be worth it or not. So then you have mint errors. You can choose the mint error category, and I want to show everyone these a little bit, but we're not going to get into it too much because it's just one of those things where you need to come over here and do your research. You literally need to weigh coins if you think they're on the wrong plan chip before you post them in a group. You also need to understand that a cud's only on the rim. There's so many things you need to learn first. And I still have those books by Cohen that I was selling, Mint Errors to Die For. They're on our website, so you want to check those out. So there's kind of a quick overview of some of the things in the market, how to look at values, what to do when you're looking at heritage and sold auctions and things like that. Trying to help you out a little bit. People asked about coin values. Is it a good deal? Should I buy this? You know, I can't really give that advice on the phone. I don't like giving advice in email. There's so many resources out there at your fingertips. You want to come over to Heritage. You go to Stacks and Bowers. You go to Great Collections. You can go to eBay. You can Redbook. You've got all these resources where you can find out the values of things. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please hit that sub button for me, guys, if you haven't subbed to my channel, and have a great day.